Hey ladies and gentlemen, what's happening? My name is Alan with the Contractor License School. I also own a business by the name of Corp Nation, which builds LLCs. We also do DBAs, C Corps, and S Corps, those kinds of things across the United States. So what I want to talk to you about today is something very important to my heart, and that's to help contractors. And that is how to set up your life and construction business for success. So the first thing I want to encourage you to do is you want to start what's called an S corporation, okay? You get that S corporation, and from there, this is what you're gonna hang your license on, okay? You wanna be able to put your license there because this is gonna give you the best tax strategy in saving money, and that's the key, right? You wanna save money so you can fuel the fire, pour it back into the company, and invest in growing it, scaling it, expanding it, maybe hiring new staff, or those kinds of things. This is going to be the best key component for you. You could watch my video below for greater detail on that, on why and how it saves on taxes. Now, what I always encourage people to do is, because the construction industry has one of the highest failure rates of all in America, is I encourage them to also start an LLC, okay, over here. Now the LLC is not going to have the contractor's license under it because 80% of all construction businesses fail, and if this fails, you need to be able to close this down and move and hang your license under another S Corp right away, right? So you just move this one right over there. That's what you do. And then you keep on going, you keep on making money and taking care of your family. Now, your LLC is where you're gonna put all your assets, okay? So this corporation here gets money. It purchases tools, equipment, and all that kind of stuff. But instead of purchasing it here, purchase it under the LLC, and then this one rents it to that one, right? So it rents it out. This one sends over, let's say, for example, $3,000 a month to rent it over to here, and this one sends over a receipt. If this one goes BK, as we were talking about, then we just start another S Corp. You still keep making money for your family while this one's going through the process. But guess what? It literally owned nothing. Everything's over here under the LLC. And here's the great thing about the LLC. You're gonna know people, you're gonna know friends that are doing construction, and they're gonna need equipment. Well, you can rent out that equipment. Now they're paying for the equipment and making money. So let's say this company's paying $3,000. Well, that's $36,000 a year. Then you have other people renting it. Let's say you rent out enough to make another $30,000. That's $66,000 a year. Your biggest problem is gonna be, wow, I need to spend that money so I could reduce my tax burden. So you're just going on a big, huge shopping spree. Honey, I want that table saw in Home Depot. Now you can just go buy it and get it, right? But that's not over, because I'm gonna show you something really awesome. Now, you wanna protect your home, right? So when you're in a corporation, your personal assets are protected. So I'm gonna put your personal assets here. Personal assets, okay? So these are your personal assets. When you're in a corporation, if it gets sued, if it goes bankrupt, as long as you didn't do anything illegal, nobody can attach your personal assets. Here's the problem. When you pay off all those personal assets, let's say you got some homes over there and stuff like that, you want to protect them so that when you get older, because every good family, every good parent wants to be able to pass on stuff to their children or to their loved ones, when you pass that over into their hands, they're gonna have to pay a boatload of money in taxes, inheritance tax, all that kind of stuff. You reduce that by starting what's called a trust, okay, for the personal assets. Now, if this goes BK, all those assets are in a trust, nobody can go after that as well. You are the president of the trust, that's you, and then you're gonna be able to monitor that. But when you pass that on to your kid, currently about 150 bucks, maybe 200 bucks, and you simply pass that to your child and you retire, let them pay you money or however that's working out, live off your pension, and now you were able to transfer all those assets. They are now the controllers of all those assets, and you save thousands and thousands, sometimes upwards of $300,000 just in monies that they would have had to pay to receive those assets that were not in a trust. The other thing I want you to do is this. I want you don't have to be religious, just be a good person, help people, do nice things. Start a non-profit, okay? This can give up to $25,000 tax-free. This can give up to $25,000 tax-free. This can give up to $25,000 tax-free. And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're putting money in here that the government doesn't take take or tax, and now you're able to still guard and watch and be the deciding factor of how that money is used. So let's say one of your kids is in sports and they need all uniforms. Well, you can buy all the uniforms. Let's say you want to go down to a foreign country. Maybe you're going to head down to Mexico, go hang out with the soccer team, and you're going to buy them a bunch of equipment, take them out for pizza, your flight down there, your lodging, and going down there and doing humanitarian work and helping people and taking care of people and being a kind person. Well, you are incentivized because all those monies are non-taxed. Okay, so this is the 4 steps, kind of like a baseball field. First, second, third home. You want to set your life up like this because you're going to reduce your tax burden. And think about this. Just recently, I told you about 2 of the companies I own. I started another company, Pono Hawaiian Tours, which is in Hawaii. And we do a variety of things from rental equipment, renting vehicles, trucks, all that kind of stuff, cars, all the way up to a retreat center and touring stuff. But here's the thing. Well, whenever I fly to Hawaii, well, the business expense pays for me to go there, so it doesn't come out of my pocket. In other words, if I take money and I put it in my pocket as pay and then pay for me to go there, I have to pay taxes on the pay. But if the company flies me over there to inspect and check on the company and see what's going on, that's a business expense. I get a cool trip, I do some business out there, hang out with my staff, I don't pay any taxes because it wasn't my money personally. See, so you're starting businesses. So that's what I did, and that's what you're able to do when you're utilizing these as a strategy to win. The final thing that you will eventually do, and by the way, we do all of these setups for you in every state in the United States. The next thing you want to do is eventually start an LLC, usually in a place like Wyoming. By the way, the very first place a corporation was ever established in the United States of America. You start an LLC in Wyoming and you make it the managing controller of all your corporations. And then all the profit and proceeds can go over here, and then that money can be released to you in a tax reduction in a very great and amazing way. You're going to want to go through and ask your tax person about all this, but this is how you want to set this up. This is going to set you free. This is going to save you money. This is going to allow you to not pull out so much money and yet utilize those funds to live an amazing life. Let me give you another example. Let's say, for example, you talk about Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? He pays himself about $120,000 a year. He owns about 30,000+ homes, each one of them in an LLC. So yes, he owns about 30,000+ LLCs, but he doesn't pay himself that much because the motto of all billionaires is own nothing. It's all wrapped up within corporations, even though you're the controlling person of those corporations, and he has one entity that controls them all. And here's the cool thing. So if he owns a jet or if he owns things, whenever he uses that, it's the company that owns it. So it's a company expense, not his expense. The money doesn't pass through his pocket, so he doesn't pay taxes, but he uses the benefit of it because his companies own that for which he controls and manages. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to do some great humanitarian work and help people out, you want to protect your family, you want to pass your inheritance at a low tax rate, and you want to take care of yourself and provide for your family, give us a call. We'll help you out. We'll get this established. We'll get you moving forward in a direction that's going to keep you thriving and growing. And by the way, if you do all 4 at once or 5, we're going to give you an amazing discount. I'm going to help you out. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Alan with the Contractor License School, Corp Nation, and Pono Hawaiian Tours. Hey, we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.